Welcome in. This Birds of Feather podcast with your boy Q City.
Your boy Taj Bravado.
And we are back with some all season news. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I ain't got a catchy name for today's pod, but we just gonna about what the schedule is going on, and then get into some discuss kind of a little bit of OTAs. We're gonna talk about. So first things first. Just wanted to touch on a little bit of what happened with rookie minicamp, what happened with OTAs. Rookie minicamp standout was Kobe, right? Really enjoyed that. And in the OTAs,
Was it?
like me and you both said, bro, it's OTAs.
Oh,
Kobe stood out in rookie minicamp.
I did not hear anything about that. I heard Raheem say like the only thing ever heard anything about him was like before they even practiced. I
No,
might.
after they practiced, they said they were really, really impressed.
Oh, I didn't. The only thing I heard Raheem say about that,
Yeah, run that one back. They said
only
they
thing
like.
I heard him say was like he was like probably the most like talked about undrafted free agent in the history of undrafted free agents, probably. But man, I must have missed something.
I swear. Outside of him, I think obviously everybody's really excited about the DNs, pass rushers. Everybody excited about those two coming. So I think they overshadowed a lot of what we were gonna get. We didn't have many offensive the guys that were like offensive were invites. They weren't really like drafted players. So
You got a
really interested to see how this preseason roster shapes out. What's up?
You good?
All right. In terms of OTAs, right? Like me and you were just talking about, it's overblown drastically, right? Like there's no reason to feel as though we should hold any weight or stock to it because nothing that's really happening there is really Penix is solidified as the starter, so it's not like it's a QB debate or anything like that. That we're not gonna learn anything new there. RB 1 and 2 is solidified. Wide receiver 1 and 2 solidified. Tight end 1 solidified. On the defense, most of your starters.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like,
you're pretty. You're going in with not a lot of positions to fight.
defense is gonna is the way defense is where we're gonna see our biggest changes. Um, um, yeah, because like rookies, now obviously our first round picks they're gonna play, but I think probably the one that might be like a sure starter is gonna be our third round pick, Xavier Watts. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't really.
yeah. I absolutely think he's gonna because Simmons. I'm not. We're not re-signing him. I
No,
can't imagine we will.
they're not bringing Simmons back. We already got enough body. The only way Simmons come back is if we get injuries. Like I don't really see many. Yeah, pass rush we're gonna, but the young guys are edge rushers they're gonna play because of rotation. But yeah, I do think Watts is actually a legit starter. Um, Bowen's probably going to be able to carve a role out in that nickel spot, assuming that we don't do any more additions. Because there's a lot of noise about a certain player that used to play for Raheem out in L.A. Um, a la Jalen Ramsey, if y'all didn't know, there's a lot of noise about that.
Which I'm not gonna lie to you, I wouldn't be too upset if we made a move on.
Yeah, That's a floor raiser.
I wouldn't be too upset if we made a move on him. I'm not gonna lie. He's a little older.
Yeah, older, but that's
Yeah,
for the quality
he's
football.
a little older, but
That's a quality
I think he
football
could. I think he could still contribute in his present state.
Yeah, so it's the offense is pretty much
If you
set.
keep going down the line, when I'm starting to look at it, I don't think that.
You don't think what?
Yeah,
No, I can hear you. You don't think what?
I was saying I don't think that we have too many. Oh, we got too many open holes on the offense, like you said, and then on the defensive end, it's really only like figuring out the rotation on the line, and then what, two pieces in the back end, the nickel, and honestly, I think Watts just has to show up to hold down that safety spot.
Yeah, because essentially we're having 6 new starters on defense this year. There's Rook's going to step in to be a starter. That's one.
Another year and a new defense,
Leonard Floyd, that's a new starter.
which I know people aren't super excited about, but it's necessary.
Yeah. Let me turn this on. Okay. Say something.
You good?
No, because I've been like your audio's been going in and out. I don't know if it's me or you. You hear me?
Oh, there we go. It just said your connection updated.
Because like your audio been going in and out.
Yeah, I can hear you now. It just said your connection updated.
Okay. Because it was like a delay. I couldn't tell what was going on. I had to play around with Wi-Fi.
No, I'm good on this end. I can hear you.
But, what was the last thing you said though?
All right, but you were saying saying about the new starters defensively we're going to have this season.
Oh yeah. Because we're initially having 6 new starters. Rook, Leonard Floyd. I mean, Zach Harrison's not a news guy, but he's going to be in a starting role this year. So, at least according to like the tentative day 1 OTAs. So you got Rook, Floyd, Harrison. That's 3. Devon Diablo, that's 4. And then strong safety, whoever that is, I assume it's going to be Watts, but that's 5. And then even though Alford is technically the starter now, I don't know if he makes it to week 1 as a starter. So I expect that to be probably the 6th spot that gets tested. I mean, if he's there, he's there. But if not, we got a minimum of 5 new starters on the defense, which is pretty significant. It needed, but significant.
It's damn near a whole new defense, new scheme. Yeah.
And I'm not sure how new the scheme is really going to be because, like,
so if we go into, I think the big thing. Ulbrich is what?
Oh, Ulbrich is like, because he keeps on talking about he's trying to marry a little bit of last year's scheme with a little bit of his scheme that he was doing in New York. So he's trying to marry a little bit of the two together. So I'm really interested to see how this all like comes together. Like I want to see what he brings, but I don't think he could bring back stuff from last year. Just keep that playing quarterback 8 yards of the ball on 3rd and 1. Out. Just keep it away.
I agree there. So moving on into the actual schedule, because I think the main thing is like we just want to leave OTAs healthy, right? Want to make sure everybody who started in OTAs comes into the season as healthy as possible. looking at it, we got 3 preseason games, 2 at home. I really only expect Penix to play in maybe that first one just to knock some rust off.
I don't expect.
But like you're pretty set on him, Bijan, a lot of these guys coming in the season as bona fide starters. I'm not sure how much you really want to put them out there and risk injury during preseason.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing them at all. None of the starters are going to play. Maybe on defense, offense, no.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. So looking at the schedule, just how it plays out. Obviously opening the season at home against the Bucs, September 7th. I will be in Vegas for that one. Y'all peer pressure ties to join me, even though you probably won't. But I'll be in Vegas for season start for that one with Orange, if y'all remember him. But then, all right, so we hit 2 road games, 1 divisional. We play the Commanders early in the year, who I honestly think are going to be set up for a step back this year. We travel to San Fran. We get the Dolphins at home. We travel to Foxborough. We got to stretch it like 3 games in a row where we're away and our bye is in there. So travel is kind of not on our side there. Ending the season with 2 games at home against the Rams and then last game against the Saints. So I looked at the schedule, and outside of I think it's like weeks 11 to about 14, I don't think it's a bad schedule. We travel a lot on the East Coast, right? We do have to make 2 separate trips out to the West Coast for the Cardinals and the Niners, but we got the Rams at home. We got the Seahawks at home.
I want to say those are back-to-back weeks, though, aren't they?
We got the Dolphins at home up to the Vikings. But outside of that, we're staying on the East Coast. We don't have to switch a lot of time zones. And we got a decent bye as well. So what were some kind of your first impressions looking at the schedule?
I don't like the early bye. Because we got a week 5 bye, but then we still got a international game in week 10 where we go into Germany. Not really a fan of it. But I'm assuming they're kind of banking on that Thursday night game we got versus the Bucs is a mini bye week. But that's a lot of games to kind of just.
We got 10 days in between playing the Bucs in Tampa and then playing Arizona in Arizona.
Yeah, we got to travel, so yeah. We get 10 days. I'm just not really the biggest fan of it, but that's a mini buy. So that.
But if you look before then, yeah.
Hopefully, anybody just gives us the opportunity to get healthy. But
I honestly didn't think they were super unfair with the schedule.
I don't think it's unfair. I just don't like the week 5 bye. Especially considering most teams after international games.
Yeah, the early bye is tough. And to be honest with you, especially with the TBD on the last week of the season, which I think was smart, right? They're definitely playing up that last week of the season because you did have really good games last week of last season. So it makes sense not to put yourself into any situations there, slot yourself in. But we go Sunday night the week before, and then or Monday night the week before. Then we play the Saints at home somewhere at some time. So I think when I look at it, I think we have ways to rest within the schedule. right? Like the last 4 weeks are kind of rough with like you said, the Thursday night game, but you got 10 days in between the Cardinals. Then you're playing at home against the Rams on a Monday, right? So you get an extra day there, but you lose that day against the Saints. So it's kind of like, handle your business early. And when I'm looking at our business early, we have a lot of opportunities to stack wins early. I do think the Panthers are going to be better this year. The Bucks have won the division 3 years in a row. They're going to be tough. The Bills are going to be tough, right? So like I could see us in the first like going into the bye at 2-2, possibly 1-3. I wouldn't love, but like I think the Vikings are obviously going to take a huge step back this year with he's not a rookie, but like with the first year starter at quarterback. And the Commanders, even though I think they're going to take a step back, I still think that's going to be a tough game. But I can see us going into the bye 2-2. The Bills going to be that's kind of how I feel. But I'll say, first year starting because you were around the system, you did get to see everything and whatnot. There's been a lot of continuity there. So like the only thing, I got you. All right, things gonna drop and rejoin.
Can you hear me now?
One of the things that I was gonna say is that when I'm looking at it, I look at like 2-2 going into the bye, right? Between the Bucks and Panthers, you got to split that, and then between the Vikings and Commanders, you got to split that. Both NFC teams, 2 NFC losses early. That's going to be tough. Looking at the Bills, I think that's going to be a tough game. They're a great regular season team, so I wouldn't be surprised to lose that one. 49ers traveling out there. Really interested to see what their team looks like this year. I don't really have a beat on them. I think they drafted well. That defense has to come back up. They paid Purdy now. Is he worth the money? We'll see. That's a Sunday night game. Gonna love that. Think we should beat the Dolphins. Think we should beat the Patriots, even though I think they're going to be a tough, hard-nosed team. I really expect our defense to kind of come into form there. I think the Colts, and yes, we're going to play them in Germany. If Anthony Richardson is going to be a solidified starter within this league, it's going to happen before that game. Or we're going to be playing like whichever backup at that point in time, right? Like, because I think the Colts have every possibility to go straight into a free fall. I'm not completely out on Anthony Richardson. He has the tools and the capabilities, but like I think he more than anybody else is under a lot of pressure to put it all together this year. The Panthers, I honestly believe we're going to split with the Panthers this year. And with that being the case, if you're going to lose early, you win. Excuse me. If you're going to lose early, you win late. If you're going to win late, if you're going to win early, you lose late. It just is what it is. So for those 5-4 at this point in time, 5-4, 5-5 after the Saints game. And then this is where I really feel like our schedule lightens up. I think we sweep the Saints this year. Pretty easily. I think we sweep the Saints this year at 7-5. I'm pretty sure we beat the Jets. It's 8-5. We're gonna split with the Bucks. That's 9-5. We should beat the Cardinals 10-5. That just means between the Seahawks and Rams, we could lose one of those games. Like, and we still in the season 11-6. We can't lose both of them because 10-7, I don't think gets it this year. But 11-6, you could lose either the Seahawks or the Rams. I really don't think you should lose against the Cardinals. You should sweep the Saints. The Jets, Patriots, I definitely think we could win that game. We should go 3-1 versus the AFC East. The Bills is the only team in which I'm like, all right, we might go ahead and lose that one. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm looking at pretty much everybody else within the AFC East, I don't know how Justin Fields is going to look, but like history would tell me he's not going to look good. And Ulbrich knows that team, right? So defense, even though they've got new scheme, new coach, Ulbrich knows the personnel, right? At least on the defensive side of the ball. I think that gives us a little bit of an advantage there. The Cardinals, I just don't think are going to be a good team. The Cardinals, I just do not think are going to be a good team. And I like Kyler Murray, right? I don't think it's just him, but like defensively, probably not going to be up to par this year. I'm really looking. I wouldn't be surprised if by the time we play them at this point in the season, you're looking at a 5 or 6 win team, right? Playing them late into the season. The Panthers, I actually think are going to be on come up this year. I've talked about it. I said it last year, but they really took on late in the year, right? In the but even with that being the case, I still say we're going to split with them, right? Now the Vikings we should beat, and if we don't, that puts a lot of pressure on that Commanders game before our bye. Either way, we can't afford to go into the bye 1-3. You know what I'm saying? Or that's really it. I think we can afford to go in 2-2. Would love 3-1. I don't really see 4-0 there just because I don't expect us to sweep both the Bucks and Panthers. So like even if we do go 4-0, I know those games are going to bite us later on in the season. Let me get a beat on Taj, see if he coming back.
I'm in here.
And y'all, this is just we working on it. Technical difficulties, right? It's just technical. So you've been talking. For anybody watching on YouTube, if y'all hear us both talking at the same time, we will fix that in editing. I promise. I promise we will fix that in editing. All right. So either way, lost my train of thought. There we go.
Do you see me now?
Yeah, I'm looking at an 11-6 type of season, right? Now, as the storylines progress throughout the season, obviously injuries come into play. We really look at coaching staffs and whatnot, how our players are interacting with the new scheme and whatnot. I think we'll get more of a clearer picture of what type of team this is going to be. But as of right now, I think 11-6 is totally reasonable. Were you able to get me, man?
You do it.
Were you able to hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right, there we go. So I was just, I can hear you now.
It's like you're hearing me like
just saying. I think
you're hearing me
11-6
10
is
seconds after I
totally
say
reasonable
something.
in terms of like what I was looking into for this season. I think that the delay.
Like, I don't know what's going on, but it's like I say something, then you respond to me like 10 seconds later. Yeah.
All right, Taj, you there now?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's up? You there now? You can hear me pretty well?
Yeah, I hear you. I can always hear you. It's just the delay that's here. It's the delay. I don't know what the delay is.
I'm gonna try to join on my phone and see if we can get rid of the delay.
Oh, I can finally see you.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, look at that. There we go. All right. Jesus Christ. That was way too hard.
I
All
ain't
right.
seen you in the past like 3 tries. Shit.
Yeah, nah. All right. So I was
Okay.
no free
You got
promo.
headphones or something? It's an echo. Crazy echo.
I do not have headphones.
Or like
And I
you got
have
like
echo. I got echo cancellation on.
yeah.
Oh, hold on. What about now?
It's better.
Okay. I had Riverside open on my phone because I was trying to get it open on my phone. No free promo, but I had to switch browsers to make it happen. Whew. Yeah, nah, it's gonna be a rough editing trip on the first half of this podcast, right?
You got like, are you in on your phone too? Because it's like I'm hearing like you double.
I'm not in on my phone.
You are you opening both browsers or something?
I don't think so.
Oh, say something. No, I hear you all.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Is it doubled?
Yes. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah, bruh, it's just not meant to work today. All right, y'all. Look, we're gonna call it a day. We'll get the technical difficulties figured out. Appreciate y'all for sticking around. For the people that did, we'll come back. All right, appreciate you. It's been your boy Q City.
Your boy Tom Morado.
We out.